The family unit is under attack. Across the nation, parents are finding themselves facing a formidable adversary, Child Protective Services, CPS. Tasked with the crucial responsibility of protecting children from abuse and neglect, CPS has unfortunately, in many instances, overstepped its bounds, transforming from protector to persecutor. This essay serves as a vital resource for parents, equipping them with the knowledge and tools necessary to navigate the often treacherous waters of CPS involvement. It is imperative for parents to understand their fundamental rights when confronted with CPS investigations. The Constitution, our nation's supreme law, guarantees certain protections that CPS cannot infringe upon. By understanding these rights and recognizing the tactics employed by CPS, parents can effectively advocate for themselves and their families. Knowledge is power. This essay will delve into the legal framework surrounding CPS interventions, empowering parents to identify and challenge unlawful actions. We will explore the constitutional amendments that safeguard parental rights, analyze pivotal legal cases, and provide practical advice to help parents protect their families. Remember, you are your child's first and most important advocate. Arm yourself with knowledge, stand firm in your rights, and never back down from protecting your family. CPS operates under a broad mandate to investigate allegations of child abuse and neglect. While this authority is essential for safeguarding children, it also leaves the system vulnerable to misuse. It is crucial to understand the tactics often employed by CPS that can infringe upon your rights. One common tactic is the unannounced home visit. CPS workers may arrive at your doorstep without a warrant, demanding entry to inspect your home and interview your children. They may use intimidation tactics, pressuring you to comply by suggesting that refusal will result in your children being taken away. Another tactic is the use of leading questions during interviews with children. CPS workers may ask suggestive questions that influence a child's responses, potentially painting an inaccurate picture of the home environment. They may also separate children from their parents during interviews, making them more susceptible to manipulation. Furthermore, CPS often relies on the opinions of mandated reporters such as teachers and doctors, who are legally obligated to report suspected abuse. However, these reports are sometimes based on subjective observations or misunderstandings, leading to unfounded investigations. It is vital to remember that you have rights. You have the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, and the right to refuse entry to your home without a warrant. Understanding these rights and recognizing these tactics is essential for protecting yourself and your family from unwarranted intrusion and potential harm. The United States Constitution, the bedrock of our legal system, guarantees certain fundamental rights to all citizens, including parents. When CPS initiates an investigation, it is crucial to understand that you do not surrender these rights. The 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendments are particularly relevant in the context of CPS interventions. These amendments provide a strong legal basis for challenging unlawful actions by CPS and protecting your parental rights. The 4th Amendment safeguards against unreasonable searches and seizures, requiring law enforcement to obtain a warrant based on probable cause before entering your home. This means that CPS cannot simply enter your home without a warrant or your consent. The 5th Amendment protects against self-incrimination, ensuring that you cannot be forced to testify against yourself. You have the right to remain silent during questioning and to have an attorney present. The 14th Amendment guarantees due process and equal protection under the law. This means that CPS must follow fair procedures and cannot discriminate against you or your family. By understanding these constitutional protections, you can effectively advocate for your rights and challenge any unlawful actions by CPS. Remember, you have the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, and the right to refuse entry to your home without a warrant. The 4th Amendment to the United States Constitution serves as a vital shield, protecting the sanctity of your home from unreasonable searches and seizures. This protection is paramount when dealing with CPS, as their investigations often involve attempts to enter your home and gather information. The 4th Amendment clearly states that individuals have the right to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. This means that government officials, including CPS workers, cannot simply enter your home without a warrant based on probable cause. Probable cause, in the context of CPS investigations, requires specific and articulable facts that would lead a reasonable person to believe that a child is at risk of imminent harm. Vague allegations, unsubstantiated suspicions, or anonymous tips are generally not sufficient to establish probable cause. If CPS workers arrive at your doorstep without a warrant, you have the right to refuse them entry. You can politely but firmly inform them that you will not allow them to enter your home without a warrant. Remember, you are not required to consent to a search, and refusing entry does not automatically imply guilt. However, it is important to note that there are exceptions to the warrant requirement. For instance, if CPS workers have reason to believe that a child is in immediate danger, they may be able to enter your home without a warrant under the exigent circumstances exception. The Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution provides another layer of protection for parents facing CPS investigations. This amendment guarantees the right against self-incrimination, ensuring that individuals cannot be compelled to provide testimony that could be used against them in a criminal case. In the context of CPS investigations, the Fifth Amendment safeguards you from being forced to answer questions that could potentially incriminate you. This protection applies to both verbal and written statements. It is crucial to remember that anything you say to a CPS worker can be used against you in court. If you are being questioned by CPS, you have the right to remain silent. You can politely but firmly inform the CPS worker that you are invoking your Fifth Amendment right and will not answer any questions without an attorney present. It is essential to seek legal counsel immediately if you are being investigated by CPS. An experienced attorney can advise you on your rights, help you navigate the complexities of the legal system, and ensure that your rights are protected throughout the process. Remember, you are not obligated to prove your innocence. The burden of proof lies with CPS to demonstrate that a child is at risk of harm. Do not feel pressured to answer questions or provide information that could potentially be used against you. Section 6. The 14th Amendment, Due Process and Equal Protection under the Law. The 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution plays a crucial role in safeguarding parental rights during CPS investigations. This amendment guarantees due process and equal protection under the law, ensuring that all individuals, including parents, are treated fairly by the government. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment requires that CPS follow fair procedures when investigating allegations of child abuse or neglect. This means that parents have the right to be notified of the allegations against them, to confront witnesses, and to present their own evidence. CPS cannot simply remove children from their homes without affording parents a fair hearing. Parents have the right to challenge the allegations against them in court and to present their case before a judge. The Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment prohibits CPS from discriminating against parents based on race, religion, national origin, or any other protected characteristic. This means that CPS cannot target parents for investigation or treat them differently based on their background or beliefs. The 14th Amendment serves as a cornerstone of fairness and justice in CPS proceedings. It ensures that parents are not subjected to arbitrary or discriminatory treatment, and that their fundamental rights are protected throughout the process. Section 7. Fighting Back Strategies for Protecting Your Family. When facing a CPS investigation, it is essential to remain calm, collected, and proactive in protecting your family. While the process can be daunting, understanding your rights and employing effective strategies can significantly impact the outcome. First and foremost, never consent to a search of your home without a warrant. Politely but firmly inform CPS workers that you understand your Fourth Amendment rights and will not allow them to enter your home without a warrant based on probable cause. Secondly, exercise your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You are not obligated to answer questions or provide information that could potentially incriminate you. If CPS workers attempt to question you, politely inform them that you are invoking your right to remain silent and request an attorney. Thirdly, document everything. Keep detailed records of all interactions with CPS, including dates, times, names of individuals involved, and summaries of conversations. If possible, have a witness present during any interactions with CPS. Fourthly, seek legal counsel immediately. An experienced attorney specializing in child welfare law can provide invaluable guidance, protect your rights, and advocate for you and your family throughout the process. Lastly, remember that you are your child's best advocate. Stay informed, stay engaged, and never stop fighting for your family. Section 8. Case Studies. Learning from the victories and losses of others. Examining real-life cases involving CPS investigations can provide valuable insights and help you understand the complexities of such situations. While each case is unique, analyzing past cases can highlight common pitfalls, effective strategies, and the importance of asserting your rights. In one notable case, a family faced a CPS investigation based on an anonymous tip alleging neglect. The parents, unaware of their rights, allowed CPS workers into their home without a warrant. During the investigation, the parents made incriminating statements that were later used against them in court. As a result, their children were temporarily removed from their custody. This case highlights the importance of understanding your Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. In another case, a family successfully challenged a CPS investigation by documenting all interactions with CPS, hiring an experienced attorney, and presenting compelling evidence to refute the allegations. The parents' diligence and proactive approach resulted in the case being dismissed, and their children remained in their custody. These cases demonstrate that understanding your rights, seeking legal counsel, and actively participating in the process can significantly impact the outcome of a CPS investigation. Section 9. Conclusion. Stand your ground, know your rights, protect your family. Navigating the complexities of a CPS investigation can be a daunting and emotionally charged experience. However, by understanding your constitutional rights, recognizing common CPS tactics, and employing effective strategies, you can protect your family and increase your chances of a favorable outcome. Remember that you are your child's first and most important advocate. Never underestimate the power of knowledge, preparation, and a steadfast commitment to protecting your family. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and never be afraid to assert your rights. The Constitution provides strong protections for parents, and understanding these rights is paramount. The Fourth Amendment safeguards your home from unreasonable searches, the Fifth Amendment protects you from self-incrimination, and the 14th Amendment guarantees due process and equal protection under the law. If you are facing a CPS investigation, remember that you are not alone. Seek legal counsel immediately, document everything, and never stop fighting for your family.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look futures held up like thin tacks. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
Finally, after this boring video, that didn't work.
I love that video.
Oh, you could hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, good. Yeah, wasn't that great? I put a lot of time into that. And I'm not going to lie, AI makes things a hell of a lot easier. I mean, I still have to write the script and everything. But, I mean, they put together the little, unless I put our custom graphics in it and stuff, they put all that stuff in there. And, I tell it what music to write and tell it what to do. And I mean, I still do my own videos, don't get me wrong, because there's nothing better than a good, it's like getting a microwave dinner or, it's AI dinner, you know what I mean? Do you want to have microwave meal tonight or do you want it home cooked, So, but I mean, to put this stuff together that quick, I mean, that's a good damn informational video for people to go back and watch, like real quick and be like, oh, like, look at that. We learned this information today, like that's valuable stuff. Because I mean, we've seemed to tip the scales a little bit here and gone from what happens when to before they are. Because I think all of us know that we, once they get our kids, we're in salty water there. We're in the Bermuda Triangle. Like there's things, it's like, you can do these things and get out of this storm and you should be able to, and what they're doing is wrong. I mean, how many people out there watching this thought that when CPS first came to their house, they were the only people in the world this was happening to? The deprivation of your rights were so violated. I mean, they were so amazingly illegal and wrong what they were doing that you're like, there's no freaking way. This is going to be a no-brainer. And then you start searching for the stuff, and lo and behold, guess what? You're not the only one out there that this is happening to. It's happening to a damn lot of people. So that tells us only one thing. That tells us that we need to stop them from being able to get our kids. Right? Like that's it. Because once they get hands on, they don't take their hands off. And that's really the truth. If you do the math.
It's funny you say that, because yesterday a mother pulled me aside and said to me that a judge told her she was lucky she was getting her child back. Most people don't get their children back.
Right.
That's what the judge told her.
Right. And at the end of the day, I mean, we can blame the caseworker all we want, but that judge is the one that makes that decision. That judge is the one. I mean, we could be mad at the caseworkers all we want, but at the bottom of every paper that we're supposed to get, that makes everything 100% legit and legal or lawful. There's a difference between legal and lawful. But let's say it makes things legal. That's that judge's signature. That judge has approved everything CPS has done, supposedly, because we do know that they rubber stamp a hell of a lot, which means that the judge has already given them authorization to use their signatures in situations such as retaining children, or because most of the time when they get those emergency orders, those judges aren't even involved. You imagine a judge going out and being available for 7 million warrants. They're not going to do that. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, so they authorized CPS to use their signature in certain circumstances. That way that they don't have to waste their time and hear it. Which I can't believe. What is more valuable and meaningful in this world in the life of a child? So that should be like the number one thing on the judge's list of things that they should be paying attention to is a child, not Mr. and Mrs. Joe Barnes land tax dispute and, you know, all this other stupid BS that they're in the courts. Like, that should be it right there, a child's life. And that should take however long, whatever amount of time, and be examined thoroughly. I mean, they're making a death sentence decision here, and they just kind of just throw it away like it's nothing. Don't worry, it's just another life. We get it tomorrow. We'll do it again tomorrow. You know?
And it's not their life they're messing up.
Right. They're going to go home to their beautiful mansion with a swimming pool in the backyard where all their kids are with their friends, and the neighbor's going to come over and they're going to bring a cooler full of beer, probably a little reefer, you know, and a bunch of food to put on the barbecue. And they're going to sit there and they're going to shoot the shit. And that judge and those people that were involved in your case, making the decision for you and your family that involves you for the rest of your life, that will destroy you if they make it wrong or even right if they think. They're not even going to say your fucking name. It's not even going to come to their brain because they don't give a shit. At the end of the day, it's a paycheck for them, and that's a damn sad thing. That's what we're up against. It's just people waiting to get a paycheck, really. Let's go Friday. This week can't go by fast enough. You know, all of these things that we all say at jobs that we can't wait until we get to this point so we can go to the camp this weekend, or we're going to go off on vacation. But they're doing this day in and day out, and they're playing this game with our children and our families. The strongest core thing in this country is the American family, and they're busting it apart one by one like it's no big deal, like it's just a, you know, it's terrible. And people just, I don't know if they don't want to see it, they don't care to see it, or since it doesn't affect them, they don't see it. All of those are surely good answers, I guess, would be for that question. But we can't have that. You know, you can think that you're on the other side of this population, but look, they're running out of us powerful kids to take. And the only way that they're going to fund this machine is with children. So you folks that think that you're out of this because, you know, you're on the school board and you're this, that, or the other, start paying attention. Because they're not dropping CPS into these public schools for no reason. Because you rich folk have your kids in a public school too. You know, so this is coming. And if these people don't pay attention, they're going to be the ones next on the chopping block. Everybody, nobody's safe. Nobody is safe.
Not even CPS workers' kids are safe. Because if a CPS worker goes against what they say, they go right after their kids if they have them.
Yeah, that's fact too. People are evil, and they'll stop at nothing to get their bonuses because they don't make shit for money after that. All right. Trump ends Middle East war. Canada's new prime minister betrays the USA. Oh, good. So I told you, I said it yesterday. I said, listen, this Trump thing, this isn't, I don't think that this bombing of Iran is what they think it is. I think this was all agreed upon because the reset's here. We are in the reset, people. We are in the reset, whether you believe this stuff or not. That's where we are. And they've been calling for the patriots that are about this stuff have been saying, get ready for the 10-day blackout. Like it's coming while they reset everything because we're going to a new financial system. This stuff is real. Do your research on it. This is true. This is what's going on behind the scenes. But I said it. I said, you watch this Trump thing. This was probably a calculated hit. You're going to see everybody coming to peace because they didn't know what to do with Israel, how that was all going to align. But watch, they're all going to be coming to peace. And because we've gotten 100,000 plus of these dirty bastards that have been controlling the world and their economies since the beginning of our times, and then some, they've got these guys and they're putting them away. And we'll all see. Everybody's like, you're crazy, you're crazy. Well, we'll see how crazy I am. There's a lot of big stuff that's coming out in the news, but the most important thing that needs to come out is they need to stop fucking with our kids. And I think that's what the new the new plan is definitely that they won't be doing that anymore. But let's cross our fingers, dot our I's, and hope for the best, expect the worst. And that's the end of my rant. So how are you anyway, Tiffany?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. It's hot. It's just hot.
Yeah.
Water right now.
Yeah, keep hydrated. That's very important. You know.
But yeah, it's just hot.
Yeah, and very important. It's very important, guys. When it's this hot, keep the hydration going to you. And booze is not hydration, so you gotta drink yourself some water. That sugar and that booze and everything will just dry you up and make it worse. So try to slip in a little bit of water here and there anyway. If I know it's the holidays are coming up here. Our favorite holidays coming right through. It used to be my favorite weekend. I used to look forward to this week every year because you had my birthday on the 3rd and the 4th of July, and we had a camp. I had a camp at the time, and so every weekend, the camp was full for 4th of July weekend. There'd be 30 of us in a 2-bedroom camp, and it was just freaking awesome. And we have none of that stuff anymore. And now I don't even celebrate holidays since they took Nina. We don't even do holidays or birthdays or Christmas or, it's just another day to us. But man, this used to be my favorite. Oh, me and the kids would go get fireworks. We'd load up the car with as much fireworks. It's a driving bomb essentially going down the road after we leave the fireworks store. And we just go out and we just have a blast. But that's something that they took from me when they took Nina. They took that. It sucks. Bree's older. She still comes around for the most part, but she got her own thing. She's doing her own life to live, so she can't just be like taking care of me and mom. You know what I mean? Like she can't. So she has her own friends that she goes to do holidays with and stuff. So, but that's the shit that they take from you when they take your kid. I don't know if you acted like that or if anybody else did things like that, but it's just almost like it's too much pain, or you feel like you feel bad that you shouldn't be able to let loose because your kid's suffering right now. That's how I feel about it. I already promised Nina. We have a fence that's on the side of the house. This thing, we have a beautiful, $500,000 house, but we have this piece of fence on the side that Nina and I built the day before they took her. And I promised her that day when they took her, she said, "Daddy, don't finish the fence until I come home." And I haven't touched that fence since then. It's it's fallen down raggedy. It's been 4 years. It's never been painted, and everyone's like, "You should do something." Fuck you. I told her, that little girl, that I will not do anything until she comes home, and that's the way it sits. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there have the same thing. Have the same cement that's out there that she mixed up. It's in a 5-gallon bucket. It's not cement anymore. It's a solid block. But like that's the stuff, and that's the shit that they do. They take from you, and you don't ever get back. So that fence will stay, and then hopefully she'll want to fix it when she gets home, or we just take it. We'll just tear it down. But that'll be up to her. So anyway, now that's the end of my rant. So. You had a great showing this weekend for your rally. You had a lot of people watching, paying attention.
Well, that's great. I know that the Parental Rights Foundation, parentalrights.org president was there. He likes what we're doing, and he said if he can't make it to the next one, that he would speak at another one. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to try and get him to come on the show. But it was hot yesterday. Oh my God, it was terrible. It was 104 with the heat index.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
That's not good at all. People don't want to pay attention. They're sitting there fanning themselves. You got to listen to all the other people going, it's hot.
Well, the good thing was we were in the shade. We had tea, lemonade, water, fruit. We had all kinds of food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good.
Did you get to see the little cartoon I did? I want to play it for you now that you. Yeah, I
okay.
You saw it, but I want to
play it for me.
You can see this little devil that I did for you guys. Let me see here. Oh, I want to show a local video. Okay, let me get it here. Because you had a lot of information yesterday. But this next one's going to be different, right? You're going to not have the stuff on hand. You're going to make everybody else print it out.
Right. What we're going to do is we're trying to book like the library so we can cast you on the big screen, and we're going to start doing seminars. And we're going to be inside. So it's either going to be AC or
They
it's
can't
going to
just
be
take your kids, and I'm about to prove it. Every
All right, let me see here. I don't know if this is going to be if this is the right one, but let's see. I think it is. Check it out.
about to prove it. Every day, CPS violates your constitutional rights. They ignore due process, they trample the Fourth Amendment, and they tear families apart without proper cause. But here's what they don't want you to know: you have power. The Constitution is on your side. I'm Tiff, and I'm exposing the truth about CPS's unconstitutional practices. Join me in person at Frederick Douglass Park in Winchester, Virginia this Sunday from 1 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. We're calling on every official, every police officer, every mandated reporter, and every patriot who believes in family rights. You'll learn exactly how to apply constitutional protections to CPS cases and investigations. Special guests will join me, and the Punisher will be connecting remotely with crucial information you need to hear. This isn't just about knowing your rights, it's about taking back our families and restoring constitutional order. Your children's future depends on it. Be there.
So that was the thing, but that wasn't what I wanted to show you. That was part of it, but let me hold on 1 second. Sorry. I wasn't sure which one was which here.
That's okay. That one was cute too. Look at me all little stumpy.
Well, you know, when I was doing this picture earlier, I felt, I'm like, it comes, I got it done. And, you know, like I was kind of like, it seemed a little inappropriate, the body of you. So I had to go back and adjust it a little bit because we grew a little more endowed than I think was, you know, what we should be playing here on this, here. You know, I didn't think Mr. Wise would be too impressed with that picture. So I had to, or maybe he would be impressed with it, but that would be for him, not for others. So I apologize to him about that. So I had to put a Punisher logo on your front to make up for that. But this one's, so it's just tough sometimes when I'm doing these of you because I'm trying to do them fast, I'm not paying attention, and then I catch things like that at the end. Oh yeah, whoa, you know. But yeah, this one came out pretty good. If I did the show intro. Oh, you know what? That's how I can show it to you. Stupid, dumb Darren. And for those of you that missed it, sorry guys. It was yeah. So we were saying sorry about that, but we're gonna let everybody that comes on next time. You're gonna put together like a workbook or something, right? And then we'll let them. They can print it out. So then the people at home too can have all the same information, because I know a lot of people were asking yesterday for the information that you had handed out at the
rally.
Yes, the rally.
Well, I can tell you what it was, but we did it just for Virginia. So, but I can tell you that everything that I did is in every state. So the first thing you want to do, the first thing we handed out was an NAACP complaint form. So you have to find the NAACP in your area or your surrounding area, and email them, and they'll send you a complaint form. The second one we did was a complaint form like I said, they were all for Virginia, which all states have an ombudsman for CPS and foster care. So we gave them the complaint form for the Virginia ombudsman for foster care and CPS. The other one we did was for the Virginia State Bar, and it tells you how to file a complaint against an attorney. The fifth one that we did was how to file a complaint against a judge, and you just go to your Judiciary Review Board, I believe it's called, and you can download a complaint form from there. And then the last one we did was the color of law form. And you can Google that. Just Google color of law form in a PDF. And it's all right there.
It's good to know. It's good stuff. That's everything that we went over yesterday and we learned and the things that you had passed out.
Yep, that's everything that we passed out.
All right. And you didn't pass out, so that's good.
Yeah, thank God.
Right. All right, so check this out.
Announce the rally at Frederick Douglass Park in Winchester, Virginia today from 1 to 3:30.
This crowd is so fired up today and it's hot out here. What a showing for Tiff.
Family is the most important thing we have.
It's about time we stand up for the kids.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I love that one too. And that's where I came in and I was holding the mic. I said, oh, crap. I grabbed the mic real quick and I put it under there. So everybody heard the song too.
Oh, good. Good. We'll work on getting that stuff better. Well, you know what? As they go, we get better. You know, and as more people are watching, and the more we'll, well, we wanted to make that smaller. You know, so that's it. But what are we talking about today? Did we hear anything or what's up? What do we got? Talk to me, Goose.
Well,
Do we have anybody that wanted to come in with us tonight? Did we have a guest maybe that was visiting us?
yeah, but we started late, so we'll bring him on another day.
Well, I mean, we didn't start late. We just let them watch a video first.
Well, yeah.
Does anybody out there tonight want to come in and have a discussion with Tiff or I? Anybody else want to join us in this show tonight and come on in for a few minutes and tell us what you got going on, and maybe we can guide you in a direction that we don't do because we're not lawyers or people. We're just educating you or maybe giving you our thoughts on what we think you should do. Yeah. We do need to do something, huh? Vinny, yep. Listen, Vinny's doing what Vinny can do up there, and we're doing what we can do, believe you me. But we kind of, just like when things happen with me, we kind of, we let these things play out outside of here because we don't want to be an influence, whether it's negative or positive, on that situation. So that's why you guys don't hear us talk a lot about his situation, because especially where he had been gagged and all of that, we don't need to keep putting things into the fire, if you will. So it's not that we've forgotten about him. It's not that we don't support him. It's none of that. We just don't publicly speak about it because we don't want to do anything that could possibly harm him. So that's why, guys. So don't think it's, we just abandoned him, said screw him. It's not the case. But we all just sit and we do our own thing with him and keep that separate from here. Because you know what? There are people that watch this. There are a lot of people that watch this that could be out there just spying to see if we say something that could effectively ruin Vinny's case or, something. So we got to be very careful with that. He's aware of this, so he's not worried about it. I'm sure he misses us all, and he misses all you guys. I know that, but we got to just be eggshells, while he's doing what he's got to do. So, but by no means is it that we have not abandoned our comrade. We all choose not to speak of it publicly on the air. So, sorry, I got off subject there a little bit. Yeah, what did you, what was I saying to you? What do you got? What do you got, Tiff? I feel like I'm just gabbing away here. Of course, I didn't have to talk in 2,000 degree heat. I didn't have to.
I talked a lot yesterday.
Rip your vocal cords out, all that dry heat like that. Oof.
Yeah. We did tell the people that we have a lot of information, but this information can be very overwhelming, right? Yeah. Because if you look at it, you'll be like, oh, I'm never going to learn this.
Right.
That's why we want to start doing the seminars, because we're going to give it to people little by little and teach it to them so that they're not like not understanding,
Right. They're
right?
not considering it.
Right.
Right.
Because if we just say here's 150 cases, learn them. That we're not doing anything. We're just giving you and we're just giving you information.
Right.
So I think the first seminar is going to be the 154 cases. We'll do 50 at a time.
Yeah.
I know that when Spanny and I did it, it was 4 shows because when you go through the first 50, it's like an hour.
Right.
But we also want to have time for people to ask us questions about the cases that we're talking about and how they can use them.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
that'd
yeah.
be cool. Yep. How they can apply these things. That's the other thing is a lot of people read all this case law. Well, first of all, what you have to realize about case law is this, guys. It's not guaranteed that the case law is going to be used as a solid part like you think that it's going to be used in your case. Because the judges, especially if that case law comes from exterior, if I'm pretty sure I'm correct here, I'm going to check it after this just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that if it comes from an external district, that judge does not even have to, he has to take into the fact that he realizes that there is a ruling on it, but he does not have to rule based on that case law because it's not from his district.
Right.
Now,
With federal cases.
Okay. Right. So, but if it's from that district, if that ruling is from that district, then the judge has to rule in a way with that finding, correct?
Right.
Or
well,
he has to pretty much, it has to be a part of his decision.
Well, this is the way I understood it.
Okay.
All federal cases, no matter where they're from, can be used in any district.
Right.
But they don't have to use a case outside of your district. They can take it into consideration, but any Supreme Court rulings are stare decisis. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Which means let the ruling stand. They've already been decided, and right under the Constitution is Supreme Court rulings, which tell the courts this has already been ruled on, and this is how you have to rule.
Right. Right.
But I did have a lawyer tell me that some judges really do like to hear what other jurisdictions have ruled on. So I guess it's really up to your judge.
Right. Well, unless you're, yeah, you're right, because they don't. At the end of the day, they don't even have to actually use the case law, right? I don't think that they necessarily have to. But if you're a federal judge, I guess if you do have to, if the Supreme Court has ruled it, right?
The Supreme Court, all Supreme Court cases can be used in state courts, and all federal laws apply in state courts. Not all federal rulings, but all federal laws.
So federal laws, okay. I'm just trying to take a peek here and see if I can find the.
No, that's fine.
That's something that you should always want to, take into consideration. You want to just make sure that like you think you have a bombshell, and like you guys get the statutes and rules wrong about how they've. This is why it's so important to look this stuff up. Even if we say so, and like I say, we always back our stuff with the utmost of 100%. This is good shit because we've researched it, we've checked it over and over. But make sure you check it too, because nothing is set in stone. Nothing is ever set in stone. You need to do your own research, see what will hold that thing up, make sure that all your paperwork are the way that they're supposed to be, meaning that they're written proper, because there's difference in, the formats, the spacing, the line spacing. All of these things are things that you need to consider when you're writing these court documents. So just pay attention to those things. There's nothing, you could have that case nailed down and have everything, every angle covered that you could, but since you didn't put it in the right format or the right line spacing, or the right letter height, or the right, any of those grammatical errors, and they can kick that thing right back out to you. So, there's a lot of things that are in play when you submit that paperwork that could still haunt you. So you need to make sure every aspect of everything that you do, you have checked twice and checked over and checked over. That's
Yeah,
my opinion.
because if they kick it out and you file it again and they kick it out and you file it again, and they kick it out, eventually they're going to hit you with a gatekeepers, right? Because they're going to say all your suits are frivolous and they're not going to allow you to do anymore. So you have to be careful when you're filing.
You got that right. Yes, you do. Yep. So these are all things that we're now trying to educate people on, so that we can be more informed and know exactly what we're doing when and if and when CPS does come to your home.
Correct. And in these 154 cases that we have, there's something in there for everybody. Okay, they talk about drug use, they talk about domestic violence, they talk about the Constitution, they talk about fundamental rights, they talk about everything. And I think we're going to get together on Sunday, so we'll be giving you a call too.
Okay, good. Who's we?
Me and the girls.
Stare decisis, right? Now what you just said too, right?
Yep, stare decisive, something like that.
Yeah.
Means let the ruling stand.
Okay, let's see. Decisions of higher courts within the same jurisdictions are binding on lower courts. For instance, a state trial court must follow the decisions of the state Supreme Court. All state and federal courts must follow the decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court. So this one's called relevance of the precedent, which is called horizontal stare decisis. Courts generally adhere to their own prior decisions when the same points arise again in litigation. However, they may not be as strictly bound to their own precedent compared to vertical stare decisis, which is, I guess it's going to tell us in a minute. Binding precedent, decisions that a court must follow. Persuasive precedents is decisions that a court is not required to follow but may find helpful in making a decision. Decisions from courts in different jurisdictions, lower court decisions as long as they are not binding, and concurring and dissenting options from the same court. Court considers whether the facts of the new case are similar enough to the previous case for the precedent to apply, and then validity of the case law. Researchers and legal professionals must ensure that the case law they intend to use is still good law. This involves checking to see if the case has been reversed, overruled, or superseded, criticized, or distinguished by subsequent legal authorities. Compelling reasons to overrule the precedent. While stare decisis produces stability and predictability, courts can choose to depart from precedent, especially when the prior decisions unworkable or are badly
So pretty much what it's saying is they'll look at other cases from other jurisdictions, but they're not bound to them. Is that that's what it means?
Yeah. It says, in summary, the correct acceptance of case law is determined by the doctrine of stare decisis, which guides courts to follow relevant precedents. This doctrine is not absolute, and courts may depart from the precedents in certain situations. So yeah, I mean, it pretty much just says what we just said. Supreme Court, then to federal court, then federal court, the lower courts need to follow the federal court, and then the lower, and then down. So, but with using the case law, again, don't think that you got, everything you need to know what jurisdiction that's from or what district it's from, how it lines up to the problems in your case. There's a lot of things. So people don't just think because you can go out and grab case law that that's all you got to do. So that's not it at all. And I get so mad sometimes because people you're talking to them like, oh, I got case law, case law, case law, case law, case law. Okay, but how does the law actually present itself and how does it work in this situation? Or how does it not work in this situation? Like how is this all, like the violations and so on? You can't just, so there's a lot more to it, people. So don't get, yourselves up on this high horse thinking that you've, uncovered some whatever, because chances are good that thousands of people have followed us or we've followed looking through this stuff. And there's a lot of similarities. But, there's a lot of things that you need to check over and over again.
Yeah,
because we want to become the last, right?
And if you're quoting case law, it's good to know the case.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So when we're giving you these case, we're just giving you a brief description of the case. You're actually going to have to look these cases up.
Yeah.
Because they could ask you, well, tell me about the case. What's the case about? And you don't want to be stuck on stupid, right? With this little paragraph that said, oh, well, this says Virginia versus Y says you can't take my kid without a warrant. Well, you got to get a little bit more into depth. So whatever we give you, we're giving you the tools. You're going to have to use them.
Yep, you sure are. Is coming along. That's, and that's the same thing that Donald Trump is doing. Same exact thing that Trump is doing. He's giving us the tools to be back to we the people. And he's waiting for us to use them. I'm guaranteeing you that's what he's doing. And then someone explained to me the other day, I think last night it was Gunner, they explained to me the checkmate thing that, they're all talking about Trump is in line with Ivana somehow. So she's in checkmate and all this. Have you heard that stuff? No? Did I lose you, Tiff?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Well, I've got you. Thank you. I'm reading this thing here. Have you heard this checkmate stuff that's going on now?
No.
With the president?
What's going on?
Well, they're saying that, so there's been a couple, I'm looking for it. There's a couple of situations where Ivana Trump has come out in front of the way that they've been standing in line in the courts or whatever, not the courts, when they've been out. Let me see if I can get it here. And it means
now
something
I did see a picture of her standing almost in front of him.
Okay, so that was check. Let's see here if it comes up there. Oh, whoops, on the right thing. Trump. And check. And I get so scared, like, to look at this stuff, because I'm like, I don't know, is this real? Is this, is this what the...
Is this AI?
Right, exactly. Let's see here. Let's see. Trump reaction. All right, so everything's I ran right now. Hold on. Let's see. One. I don't know. Where the hell is it here? Fact check, Trump in check, Ivana. Oh, check, Ivana, chest. Let me try that. I know it's slow. Let's see here. Buried. Trump's playing 5G chess. Let's see, is that it? Jack James playing chess. Another series actually playing 4D chess. No, where the hell is it? It was just, I'd seen it all over.
Well, what are they saying about it?
Oh, here it is. Here we go. I don't quite understand it. Yeah. That's already there. Sorry. So they're calling that the greatest. They're just saying that the way that they're stepping and the way that they, they're just saying that it's like they're playing chess, that Donald Trump's playing chess, and that you can see it in the way that they're walking around and stuff. It's pretty, I don't know. Forget. If I find it, I'll put it out there for everybody to,
I don't care what he does as long as he keeps this nation safe.
right? Well, I mean, I think that I think he's doing all right. I think we're going to be all right. I think, like I said, that the change is coming. Trump can check with it. Check it on Wait a minute. What's his wife's name now?
They can hear Gunner, but not me.
But I'm looking up. What's his wife's name now? The first lady's Ivanka, right? Yeah, I'm saying Ivana. Whoops. Ivana's the one that's passed away. Ivanka is.
Gunner's not on, is he?
Why, did you hear Gunner?
She said, I hear Gunner, but not Tiff. I think she meant to say, I hear Darren.
Yeah. I can hear you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't understand why they're saying this, but I've seen it a bunch of times. That Donald
Let
Trump,
me see if I can find it.
Yeah, see, Donald Trump and wife in check or something like that.
Her name's Melania.
Melania, Jesus Almighty! Wow. All right, I am getting a little bit. Mary's absolutely right. Apparently, my head's getting a little bit. Getting a little bit weak up there in the brain parts, Darren. Darren, your head's getting a little bit soft. How about losing some facts here?
Well, all I see is Melania Trump protects Donald Trump with chess move and awkward public.
Okay. Yeah, where are you seeing that right there? That's what it's saying.
Public appearance.
Public appearance. Appearance. I don't know why we're wasting all the time on this, but Melania chess with Trump.
They're saying that it's a chess move because she stood in front of him to protect him. The queen protects the king.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So what is that all? What is that about? Anything at all, other than the fact that she's just standing in front of him?
Nah, I don't know why they're making such a big deal about that. Well, and he's not a king anyway. We don't have kings here.
Yeah. No, we definitely don't.
And I do know that the only thing I know about chess, because I don't play it, is the queen does protect the king.
Mhm. The queen kills everybody.
Yeah, she's the dominant one. She's
That's
the
what I
protector.
understand. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why they're making such a big deal about it, other than she stood in front of him. I mean, it is his wife.
Yeah, but he couldn't win on that one either. So if you put him behind her, he's being rude and stuffing her back, or
Right.
you know what I mean. So you can't win with that one.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. So I don't understand that. I don't know.
They just got
So
to find something.
what's that?
I said the Democrats and people that are talking about it just have to find something no different from CPS. They got to find something.
Yep, they sure as hell do.
And yesterday I did talk about, well, if you watched, you knew. But I did tell people, when these judges and these lawyers are telling you that your Constitution, they're your rights don't apply, you need to be like heading to federal court. Stop playing with these little courts, and you need to start filing injunctions and criminal complaints and civil complaints, because if they're really telling people that, which I know they are, it's time to just start flooding the federal courts.
Yeah.
This is the
Start right
time.
going, right. Am I
Yeah.
frozen?
Huh?
Oh, sorry.
No, I was trying to read what Florida mom's saying. Yeah. Well, I told everybody, go to uscourts.gov and start bringing down those criminal complaints, the cover sheets, the civil complaint forms, the indigent forms, so you don't have to pay that $400 to file. Because it's time to stop playing in these little courts and start moving these cases to federal court for constitutional violations. They got to
You
ship up or
know,
ship out.
yeah, I mean, they're doing too much. Look, they're doing way too much damage to these kids. You know, the second that they're removing them, the damage begins. You know, and the longer that we keep them in these foster care homes, the more damage. And I'll say it this way for a fact: is that the more damage is being done to the family and to to the loved ones that were with that child, because the child is now undergone a process of recycling. The way that they've developed it for the child is completely removed from any sort of family that they were involved with or knew of or whatever. And they're at such a young age where the studies have shown that it only takes 18 months to completely make you forget and reset who your heart loves and who it doesn't. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds like about the amount of time that they let you be away from your child. So this way they can bond. They do these bonding studies and everything else, and it shows you that, well, they don't have a bond with you anymore. They have it with these people because they've taken away your visits, because they've separated you from there, and because they know exactly the psychological measures to take to make sure that the kid doesn't, in fact, come back and say, "I want to be with my other parents." You know,
Well,
like that's what they've done.
there's a website I'm on. It's called Child Welfare Monitor. And I sent you the article. It says teaching abuse, how some adoptive parents are being taught to maltreat their children.
Yeah.
There's a whole article on it. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Yep.
But yet you're removing children from an
Because you're
abusive,
right.
right,
Because you're
and
right.
neglectful. But you're teaching the foster parents when they adopt these kids how to treat them badly? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. Seems legit, doesn't it? Seems like the right thing to
Unbelievable.
do. Seems like the right thing to do. If you don't have the room for the kids, stuff. So this just leads you to tell you that this is clearly a financial thing, because no other department would they fund or do anything for where they'd have. Imagine they had a surplus of workers just standing around at a work site, not doing anything, doing nothing, or they're back at the office sleeping on the office floor because there's so many people working for this company they don't even have work for them. Just think about that for a
Wow.
second, right? Like, what would that do? They would be, you know what I mean? It would be, through the roof answers. I want answers for this. I can't believe this money we're spending. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. What's that telling you? Because they're talking about all the time. They have no place for these foster kids to go. They have an abundance of these children, and they're missing so many damn children that, can you imagine what the real numbers must be?
Well, I sent you the report that came out on Friday.
Yeah.
Now, this administration is not playing any games. They're going to do the right thing, or they're going to lose all their funding.
Yeah.
I don't have it out here, but yeah, so they better act right, because this administration said they're not going to give them their funding. They want to know how many children are missing out of foster care.
Oh, very nice.
They want to know how many home visits they're doing. They want to know where every dime has gone.
Oh, nice.
They want them retrained. It's a whole bunch of stuff, or they will lose all their federal backing. It just came out on Friday.
Yep.
Wow.
Senate, Donald Trump there. So what do you think that will do overall? Anything?
Well, seeing how Pam Bondi and Trump aren't playing any games, I think it's going to light a fire under their behinds. And I think that a lot of states are going to lose a lot of funding.
I mean, Maine's been fighting Trump for, since the beginning of all this. And Maine has lost their funding, I'm pretty sure, right? Well, they've been fighting for the gender, I keep wanting to say defamation, but not for the gender mutilation stuff.
For transgender sports.
Right, for the sports. I mean, which is attached to them, the stuff that they actually do. But I wonder how many places have lost their funding.
I want to say that there was a Supreme Court case where the Supreme Court ruled in Tennessee, I think I saw, that it had to do with transgender care, and that I'm not exactly sure what it was.
The Supreme Court just ruled on it, right?
Yeah, it just ruled on it. And I believe, now don't take me for to be true, you're going to have to read it for yourself. I believe that they ruled that it was unconstitutional to deny these kids, or it was unconstitutional for the parents. I just know that something was ruled unconstitutional, and I didn't have time to read all of it, but that ruling came down. But then there was another ruling where they ruled in favor of a woman who did not want to share a bathroom with a transgender man, and they ruled in her favor. That was somebody versus Ohio. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So how to change? Okay. U.S. versus Skermedi, how the transgender rights movement bet on the Supreme Court and lost. Okay.
Okay, so they lost.
So let's see. Let's in private meetings. Let's see. Let's see what I just did the other day. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court.
I think the ruling came out today.
Well, I know that there was one the other day, and I only know this because it went on my secret that I'm working on.
Is that the one in Tennessee?
I'll tell you in just a second. I think you're right about Tennessee, but I think our Supreme Court itself ruled on something. And if you guys have information, oh Jesus Almighty, and a candlestick. Oh, I found my phone.
Oh, that's good. It said the Supreme Court recently upheld Tennessee's ban on gender affirming care in a ruling of 6-3.
Yeah,
the state's law restricting medical treatments like hold on my phone. Puberty blockers and hormones for individuals under 18. The court found that the ban does not violate the Constitution's 14th Amendment. So Tennessee won that. So they don't have to do anything. And it came out June 18th. My bad. Yeah. So it upheld the state's ban.
Right.
So, and I just sent it to you. It's 118 pages.
So that means that now we won't print that. We'll get that one for everybody else too. So that says that they cannot. It's unconstitutional for the state ban to happen. I mean, for the transgender mutilation.
Right. They can't give the kids any of that stuff. They can't give them hormone blockers. Anybody under 18, absolutely not. And it is not a constitutional violation. And I'll look up the Ohio one real quick too.
Yeah. So you can't give anybody under 18 mutilation without parents' consent, right?
Oh, this was a reverse discrimination. In Ohio, it ruled in favor of a Ohio woman in reverse discrimination. It said the Supreme Court sided with an Ohio woman who claimed that she was denied a job and then demoted because she was straight. So they ruled in favor of her. Oh, he wants to say hi.
Well, there he is. Hey, buddy. Yo, my man. Baby shark, baby shark. No. Where are you going? He's out of here.
Yeah, so they ruled in favor of her.
Mm-hmm.
What? In a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on, Cairo.
Oh, that must be why they must be yelling at us because Beauty and Ashes are coming on here in a minute. Maybe that's why we were hearing Gunner.
All right, well that's cool.
Yeah. Well, we could pick this up tomorrow where we left off.
Yeah, I'll look up the rest of them because I know that a lot more are coming out this month.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the ABA site too that goes on there. That has a lot of upcoming stuff. If you go to that family law section, then there's a lot of stuff there too. So, yeah, we can pick this up tomorrow.
Okay, we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back. We're gonna try to get you guys some special gear. Will we have somebody on tomorrow?
Yeah, we're gonna bring Adam on tomorrow.
We're gonna have Adam on tomorrow. Okay, cool. That'll be good. That'll be exciting. And yeah, tomorrow we'll be back here at the same time, the same place, doing the same stuff that we do, and that's winning back our kids. So everybody have a good night. We'll catch you all tomorrow.
In a small town where the mountains climb, Tiff and the Punisher fight through time against a force that's cold and cruel, trying to save the family's golden rule. In the snowy reach of Alaskan nights, Spanish stands tall for everyone's rights, with the Constitution as her guiding star, fighting for justice no matter how far. They won't let our families break, holding strong for justice's sake. With every word and every stand, they fight for the freedom of this land. CPS tries to sweep them away, but Tiff and the Punisher are here to stay, reading those rights with hearts so pure, standing their ground so fearless and sure. Spanish voice echoes through frozen air, for every family she's always there, with a heart full of fire and a mind so clear, fights for what's right, so we have no fear. They won't let Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down, screaming out loud in every town. Stand against the system that's gone insane, fighting like lions, don't feel no pain. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Voices heard, don't tread on me. Taking back rights, we will be free. Constitution in our veins, breaking these chains and claiming gains. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. CPS, stealing kids, they gotta go. Fight the good fight, let everybody know. We'll raise our fists and say aloud, no more silence, join the crowd. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Hand in hand. CPS, stealing kids, they gotta go. Fight the good fight, let everybody know. We'll raise our fists and say aloud, no more silence, join the crowd. Abolish CPS, their kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand.